When someone pulls away quietly, it's rarely sudden for them. It only feels sudden to you. There's usually no argument, no dramatic goodbye, no clear moment where everything breaks, just distance. And that kind of distance is often the most confusing because it leaves you replaying conversations, questioning yourself, and wondering when things changed. So today, let's talk about what's really happening when someone pulls away quietly without explanation. Quiet distance starts long before you notice it. Quiet withdrawal doesn't begin with silence, it begins with effort. The person pulling away usually tried first. They tried to communicate, they tried to adjust, they tried to explain what felt off. Sometimes subtly, sometimes gently, sometimes repeatedly. But when those attempts don't feel understood or met, something shifts. Not anger, not resentment, fatigue. When expressing feelings stops feeling safe. Here's the moment most people miss. It's when sharing feelings stops feeling productive. They notice that every time they bring something up, it turns into defensiveness. It gets minimized, it's delayed, or it leads to short-term change only, so they stop, not because they don't care, but because caring starts to hurt. Quiet distance is often self-protection. Why they don't explain it clearly. You might wonder why they didn't just say something. Why didn't they speak up one last time? Because for them it wouldn't have been the first time, it would have been the 5th or the 10th. At some point, repeating yourself feels like emotional exposure without safety. So instead of explaining, they withdraw. Not to punish you, not to manipulate you, but to regulate themselves. Let's talk about Maya and Ethan. Maya wasn't asking for constant reassurance. She wanted emotional presence. When she felt dismissed, she brought it up calmly. Ethan listened, but often brushed it off unintentionally. Over time, Maya noticed something. Every serious conversation left her feeling smaller, like she was asking for too much, like her emotions were inconvenient. So she stopped bringing things up. Ethan thought the relationship was finally calm, but Maya wasn't calm. She was done trying. When she pulled away, it felt sudden to him. To her, it was overdue. Why? Quiet distance feels so painful. Quiet withdrawal doesn't give you closure. There's no clear moment to point to, no obvious mistake to fix. That's why it keeps you stuck. You replay messages, you reread conversations, you search for signs you missed. Silence makes you doubt your perception, and that's why it hurts more than a clear breakup. Quiet distance is often grief in motion. Here's something rarely talked about. Many people grieve the relationship before they leave it. They grieve the version they hoped for, the conversations they wanted to have, the effort they wished was mutual. By the time they pull away, they've already processed the loss emotionally. So when they finally step back, they seem calm. That calm isn't indifference. It's emotional exhaustion. Love can still exist here. This part is important. Someone can pull away quietly and still care. They may still think about you, still wish things were different, still feel attached in some way. But love without emotional safety becomes draining. And when staying hurts more than leaving quietly, distance feels like relief. Why you didn't see it coming? Quiet distance is often mistaken for maturity, less arguing, less tension, less emotional intensity. But emotional silence is rarely neutral. It's often someone choosing peace over pain. The relationship didn't suddenly change, it slowly became unsustainable for one person. What this means for you. If someone pulled away quietly from you, ask yourself this. When did the conversation stop feeling safe? Not when did the text slow down. Not when did the affection change, but when did emotional honesty stop feeling welcome? That's usually where the distance began. What you should not do. Don't chase emotional access. Don't over-explain your worth. Don't beg for clarity from someone who already withdrew internally. Chasing distance only deepens it. Quiet withdrawal doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to safety. What you can learn from this isn't about blaming yourself. It's about understanding patterns. Quiet distance teaches you what happens when emotional needs go unmet, even unintentionally, and understanding that helps you recognize early signs next time. Fewer honest conversations, less emotional responsiveness, more internal withdrawal awareness protects you. The hard truth: people don't always leave loudly. Sometimes they leave in silence. And that silence isn't cruelty, it's self-preservation. When someone pulls away quietly, it doesn't mean you weren't enough. It means something stopped feeling safe for them. Understanding that won't erase the pain, but it will stop you from blaming yourself for silence that wasn't yours to fix. Do you think quiet distance is harder to process than a clear breakup, and why? Comment down below.